Your videos do not look their best until they sound their best. So if you've seen epic concert recaps, really creative fashion films, larger than life online content, there's a big chance they're using cinematic sound effects in that video. No matter if you're a beginner or pro, get ready to upgrade your edits. Hi, I'm George with Video Loadout. This is our Pro Videographer series where I share skills and tips that helped me become a full-time videographer, and also tips that will upgrade and elevate your edits. So today I'm talking about cinematic sound design. And why I'm so hyped about that. This reminds me of an edit I filmed with an artist of mine who also does some fashion and content creation. And I remember at the time I was obsessed with getting bigger and better projects, and I was doing everything in my power to do that as soon as possible. And something that I did right, did a lot of things wrong, but something I did right was knowing I can't rent an Arri Alexa or a Red camera every shoot. But what I can do is have really professional and good sound design. But the strategy by the sound design is something I do today, particularly what I want to teach you to edit around the soundtrack creatively. So you'll notice in this video, I don't have one song go through the whole video. That's the first thing I want to emphasize today. Do not do that. It kills the pacing of your edit. Instead, find breaks or different buildups in the pacing that the soundtrack doesn't support. So instead, you could rely on sound effects, cutting to dialogue or voiceover.
I know I exist to create art that inspires people to overcome what they're going through.
But this is to be engaging. If it's too consistent, people get bored with their attention spans and everything. So even back then, I really had this strategy for my sound design to have a crescendo. A moment in the video where I'm gonna build up and have an epic payoff. I do this with pacing and sound effects. So back to the pacing. You'll notice I start the video off with slow, slight push-ins or just slow motion B-roll of the setting up the video. Eventually when the action picks up, so do the amount of cuts and edits. So if there's 5 slow motion clips in 10 seconds, eventually there's probably gonna be 5 clips in a second. So a bunch of edits, a slow motion B-roll of something I wanna highlight, hang and live on that moment a little bit, and then get back into another point of emphasis where I'm gonna build up with the editing and pacing and do that again. So the second thing I do for cinematic sound design, I got crap on here, okay. Anyways, this is really important. You'll notice if the camera's moving, I usually enhance it, 1 with a digital zoom, which is hard to notice, and 2 with the sound effect. Any kinetic motion really, I'm gonna emphasize with the sound design. This makes it more exciting, this brings you in, and sometimes it acts as a riser. Sometimes I'll put an actual riser sound effect for the crescendo, for the payoff that I'm building up for. For instance, I have a bunch of go-to cinematic sounds from the Video Loadout sound effects pack we have, something like a metallic slice, our energy, our power whooshes, and then for the payoff, it's gonna be a hit, or what I really love for the biggest drops, like a bass drop. It goes well from going fast-paced to slow motion, that bass drop. Every time, I use that so much. So if you want your edits to sound like that, feel free to try that pack out for yourselves. All right, so we got the pacing, we're enhancing the camera movements. And now the third thing is we're gonna use cinematic sound effects to enhance our atmosphere and cuts. So starting with the atmosphere, take this video for example. We're advertising a hoodie, and based on the text, I found an appropriate setting. It's kind of a dark mood you'd see associated with like a trippy red brand or something along those lines. So perfect way to enhance what I shot are these dark atmosphere elements coming into the edit to start off the video. And now when I cut, I'm also adding to the video elements that you'd see in a horror movie or something like that. And that's of course, if we're using cinematic sound design, we're trying to make the video creative. And so when I say enhance the cuts, I also want to enhance the action or foley that the cut is on. Anything from lights, metallic elements, clothing. You could have your regular foley and then layer the cinematic sound design to make it larger than life. Okay, great. Already with those 3 things, I'm very confident you can kill your edits. You'll be able to put out some really high quality work just by following those 3 tips. This video is part of a pro video editor series. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers.